Howdy ESSM 406. I want to talk to you about the last couple of readings for this unit, one of which is called Insider Voices, Human Dimensions of Low Carbon Technology, and the other is The Action Strategy Guide, a short publication by the Ruckus Society. Both of these take a more, what you might think of in Rothman's terms, as a more social action approach. The article by Reason, that's his last name, Peter Reason, Insider Voices, Human Dimensions of Low Carbon Technology, is going to look at a whole bunch of case studies. I don't expect you to read all of them, but maybe choose one or two that look interesting of how people have come to adopt low carbon technology. And they take an approach which is called action research. Action research is basically the idea that people should do research with the people involved in order to help solve their practical problems. So it's one tool for creating social change, for pursuing a change that might be better for the society. And it's one in particular that we might think of pursuing in a situation where we're not quite sure what the best strategy is. We need more information. We need to see what people are already doing. So that's one thing to consider. And he gives some really good examples of that. So I encourage you to look at it, particularly if the kind of problem you're studying is really complicated. You might find yourself thinking maybe people should do this kind of action research. Maybe they can work with some people associated with the university or elsewhere to solve this problem. Now, the Ruckus Society is very different. They're not academics. As the name implies, they like to cause a ruckus. They are California radicals, if you want to think of them that way. But they have a very good manual, how to organize a protest, how to organize different kinds of actions that are going to raise the action. So here we're talking about what Rothman, again, would call social action. And there's different kinds of social action. You might start with writing to a legislator, but you might also want to engage in a protest. You might want to find a creative way to get the public attention. You might want to boycott a product that is being produced in an environmentally unfriendly way, something that actually the Ruckus Society has been very involved in doing. They've also organized a lot of big protests against different polluting companies, trying to raise awareness of pollution and demand some kind of government action. So when you think about these kind of protests, they're often not just like, oh, let's have a protest, but they're trying to get someone else to do something. It might be to try to get the company, if you're boycotting a company, you might really just be trying to get the company to change their policy. If you're protesting, you might be trying to get the government's attention, get your legislators' attention, get the mayor's attention, and get them to change a policy. Or you might actually be trying to educate the public. You might just be, there's protests on this campus that I see which don't really seem to have a clear, they're not really trying to influence the legislators, Representative Flores, or our senators Cruz and Cornyn, or say the administration of the university. They're really trying to influence other students. So this is social action. Social action has played a really important role in changing environmental policies. And one thing I've noticed since I've been here at A&M is that students here are often, you guys are very well behaved. You don't often like this, but I think it's important to recognize that a lot of really positive changes in our society have come about through these kind of more confrontational and noisy kinds of changes. So you might want to think about, might this be an appropriate method, an appropriate strategy for achieving change in the area that I'm interested in?